Okay, so what challenges have you faced over the years since 2014?
One was identifying our business model, which every entrepreneur will actually have to go through. When you start a business, it's always like, I want to do this and I'll make money like this, okay? And that was the motivation behind starting Safeboda. So I'm like, I want to do this A, B, C, D, and I want to make money from it, this line. But it really did not work like that, though later on maybe it is going to work like that. It was identifying our business model. And two, building an app that really works. I was a border driver. My other co-founders are economists, and none of us had a background in like tech, so it was really tough. So we could get advices from engineers, and they were really like advices based on their experience. So let me describe it. So it was like, you have an engineer and he's really like good at what he does, okay? But his level of thinking is here, okay? But then for you, as the owner of the organization, you're really like looking at something like this. So when he advises you, he's advising you within his limit. The end result is we were able to build like 3 apps that never really worked well. And I think there were 3 apps that never worked well. And we were only able to build like the ride-hailing app that meets the standard last year. After hiring John Block was among the 30 engineers, the very first 30 engineers who worked with Lyft. So I hope you guys know about Lyft and Uber. So we hired him as a consultant. He came and helped put the foundation of the app. And then, yeah, we were able to build the app. And today, we are quite happy that we have the app that works. But it was really hard to get to the app that really works after building several of the apps that never worked. So there were 2 problems. One was identifying our business model, and 2 was building an app that really works. You could talk about funding also. Getting money to this country is a tough one. But for every young person there who is an entrepreneur, you shouldn't really worry. You shouldn't give up. We are setting the trend. We are putting the foundation together. And success stories like when you look at Safeboda really being a success today, and now other companies as well being able to attract fundings, you really like see that. And also the government buy-in. I think the government is also very interested in like the innovations that is happening. Young people getting together and putting their money and investing into good ideas is really like opportunity that tells you funding might not be a very, very big deal in future, but as of today, it was really tough to get money, to get the funding, and to get the right people to believe in us. It was quite tough. But besides that, yeah, you would want to make it clear that it's also been a tough journey. But right now, it's also an exciting journey. So yeah.
You've sort of crossed the heartbeat.
Yeah. So it's the thing here is now where I am, I have so much pressure. So I really don't know what to say. I don't want to be very comfortable, because where we are, we really have so much pressure. We have a lot being demanded from us. And at the very early stage, it was us deciding on everything we want to do in ABCD, a small team. So things could really like maybe run quicker or slower. But right now, you have so many KPIs that has to be looked at. The team has also grown. So it's not easy. So you might cross and have enough fundings and have money, but still, the challenge remains. The challenge remains like you really need to work. So no matter where you are, every success person, for you to be successful, or any successful person, still needs to work hard, and you actually need to keep working harder and having the best people around you to advise you. Otherwise, it is going to be hard to make it to the top. Right now, we are surrounded by so many smart people that makes us smarter. So,
and luckily, you don't have any competition yet. Huh? There's no one in border ride-hailing business? Yeah.
No, you don't want to say there is no one. I think there are people who are trying to enter the border industry. The border industry is really like one unique industry, and it's defined on its own. Now, whoever is entering the industry should come, and as soon as possible, before we actually take it over. One thing we believe in at Safeboda is competitors give us opportunity to think better and improve. And if we have more competitors, we shall get ourselves on pressure, get ourselves together, and work much harder, and do amazing things. We already see competitors coming. I don't want to mention their names, but I know there are people who are actually already in the border industry. There are apps already in the border industry. But competitors, I'm really fine with it, because my very first competitor was a good friend of mine, whom I met at a Kamwesi hostel. And when we started this idea, I actually went and shared with him my idea. And he decided not to work with me because he's an engineer, and decided to start his own company. One day we were on the same podium, and I mentioned that to him, and he recognized that. And we still remain good friends. So competitors should not really be a threat. You really need to know what to do. You really need to get closer to them, know what they're doing, and maybe think faster than they can.
Tell us about what you've achieved in these years. You've told us about the challenges. So
Okay. So as an individual, as an organization,
both.
I think I will focus more on like the organization part of it. I think we've been able to travel the journey. We've gained the visibility. We've gained the necessary support. Personal achievements, I'm really sorry, I might try to be a little bit reserved about that, but as an organization, we've achieved, we have been able to gain recognition, you would say. I think last year, I personally, as Ricky, on behalf of Safeboda, actually won the Young Achievers Award, which is not something simple. And I rode alongside very, very smart people. You know, like the lady of Livara Cosmetics, Maxime Ncimenta. She was in my category, and she's that one lady who left her job that used to pay her like, I think, 30 million a month, and she started with 1 billion shillings. There was also a doctor, a PhD doctor in my category, and then other smart people as well. So, and besides that, I also got the opportunity to visit State House, visit the president, spoke to him in my local language, said hi to him, which is really good, not once. And I've also got the opportunity to actually present my approach to road safety in different forums. I think last year I was in Sharm el-Sheikh, and I was one of those young entrepreneurs who spoke about my approach to entrepreneurship at the African Forum 2017. And I also got the opportunity for the last 2 years, 2016 and 2017. 2016, I went to South Africa, Durban, and I presented my approach to road safety at the Global Road Safety Partnership Seminar. And then that was 2016. So then 2018, I also went to Cape Town and presented my approach to road safety at the Global Road Safety Partnership Seminar as well, 2017. But also in the year 2017, I was invited by the London School of Economics and Political Science to present my approach to entrepreneurship. It was sad that I did not make it because of visa-related issues, but that is something that I never want to leave behind. For people who understand what London School of Economics and Political Science is and means, and getting an invitation from them, they paid for my visa and everything. they paid for my accommodation and my flight, and I had issues with the visa part of it, but I think those were really like not, they were not simple. So as a person, I've got the exposure. As an organization, we have also gotten the exposure. But still, it comes with lots of other challenges as well. You know, after the forums, after all this, you still need to come back and do the real thing. Internally, we've been able to organize to like chat with almost all the authorities. I think almost all those have been opened. Ministries and many other people have been very welcoming. So I think at the moment we are in a good position and quite confident that the world is looking at us and we just need to do our job right.
Nice. And what lessons have you learned over the 4 years that you did not know before you started Safeboda?
So one thing is, if you really like persevere and keep going and follow your passion, you will definitely make it. When you're really interested in something, go for it, because no one else is going to run after it. It's only when you run after it and show people that this is real, that's when other people will come following you, and they really would want to do what you have done, and would wish to be you, but they can never be you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and life is full of challenges, which everyone needs to recognize that. And it's only if you raise your hands and say, please, the lion is coming, God, come and help me, you will have accepted to lose. But if you keep trying things, you will definitely make it. I've done so many things. People today see me at Safeboda. But I've done security, real security guarding with a gun, sleeping on the streets. My first assignment when I joined security was at the Lugazi, was at the Kakira sugarcane plantation, in the middle of sugarcane plantation, where there are no human beings. All you have is a gun, and I'm guarding a solar panel. You know the solar panels that they put on the street? They deployed me their first assignment with a gun. I'm like, you did like 5 shots, you even do not really like understand the gun properly. That is where I was deployed. After that, they brought me to Kampala, took me to cover it, and sleeping in, like those wheel loaders and all that. So that's what I did like for 2 years, sleeping in the middle of the roads. People will break off and you stay there for like a month in one position. You're not going anywhere. So, and also when I came back to Kampala, as I was doing my security guard, I was actually selling juice in Kamwocha, around Kamwocha Chewando. I used to roll bicycle, make my juice. Then I make juice, like, vanilla water and juice, those small pack juice of like 100 shillings. So I could move them around, so I could earn a living. It's really like life is a choice that it's you who defines what you want to be, and you always need to keep striving for it. Like you really need to go for it, and no matter what, you can always make it. I mean, something that comes clear in my head every single day, that every mistake you make is actually an opportunity for you to learn, and when you learn from the mistake that you made today, I think it will make you a better person. And whoever accepts the mistake that he or she makes will always be a better person. Because every day is a learning day. I'm surrounded by so many smart people. But we reason together and actually agree and understand each other.
Very nice. What would you be doing if you were not doing Safeboda?
My dream when I was a young person was to become a doctor. And when you look at my books when I was a young boy, I had already written Dr. Rapa, Thompson. So I wanted to become a doctor. But then right now I realize being a doctor is actually not just treating people and being in a hospital. It's about doing things that empower the community and supporting people who actually need help. So, and empowering young people as well. So there's always like a soul doctor. There's really like a real medical doctor, and I'm happy that in our family, my uncle has finally graduated, so he's now a full doctor from Kampala National University, and but I inspire him, and life keeps going on. And what would I be doing if it wasn't Safeboda? Before actually I started Safeboda, I already started a border city tour business. you can check it on Facebook. It's called the Kampala Border Borders. It was there in 2012, and you could see some of my old pictures without dreads. Like I was still a young boy, riding people, showing them Kampala. Some of the pictures I took them like from like Ginger. Some of the pictures I took them from like the Gaddafi Mosque. Proof that I was really in the business. So if it wasn't, if I think I would be in tourism, and I still like it so much. But I'm not sure if I want to go back to tourism. But I also want to sell my country at the end of the day, which is exactly what I'm doing. So if it wasn't Safeboda, then I would be in tourism, moving in the forest, in the bush, showing people animals, and basically that, which would have been an exciting job, given that I grew up in the village and we have always been hunting for birds. So it would have been an exciting job. We hunted for birds and animals as well. Yeah.
Okay, and how did you get the dreads?
When I was coming, actually, I was asking myself, will they ask me about my dreads? So yeah. So the story of my dreads. Now I'm going to be really honest, but please don't ask me more questions about this. So how I grew my dreads. So my girlfriend at that time was learning how to do like hair, okay, like women's hair. And she used to go and learn from a friend's place, then she would come back home. And there was this small kadole, and it was very small, and by then my hair had grown a little bit. So she started practicing on my hair, doing that. When you look at my Facebook page, you're going to see some nice twisted hair. She's the one who did it. So she kept on learning, so she would go and learn a new style. So she comes and does it at her free time when I'm at home. So she plays around with my hair, and then she's able to come up with the style. Then after that we remove it. So she does it, maybe I stay with it for 2 days, cover it, then we remove it. So it reached a time that my hair grew because she kept on pulling it. Then I just decided, I'm like, I don't want to cut my hair anymore. I actually love it. And that is how the dread came about, just like that.
Yeah. Nice. And when you leave Safeboda or after, what do you plan to do?
So, you know, my parents were peasant farmers, and we lived our lives farming and a little bit of fishing. So when I leave Safeboda, I want to go back and do farming, which I'm already preparing myself for it. I already have pieces of land that I'm purchasing, and I'm setting up farms already, planting trees. So after Safeboda, I'll be doing farming, and that is what I will do, even if I leave Safeboda tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is all I want to do, because I'm already prepared for it, and I feel like there's need for that, and I feel like it's something I could really do well. Yes, so after Safeboda, I think farming is the next thing, and basically not just farming, but basically working with farmers to empower them. One thing I really do not like is every time I go to the village, you find like these people who have land, and they really look so miserable, really look so desperate. They really do not have a coin in their pocket, and they have children, and they also have land, which everyone here in the urban setting is looking for land. But people there in the rural setting have got so much land, and they are very poor. So it's not just farming, but I really want to work with farmers to empower them and uphold them and take them to the next level.
What worries you the most about your business? You know, what keeps you awake at night?
The industry I am in has got a lot of politics. And something I still don't understand is the regulation.
A bit louder.
So, the industry we are in, or the industry I am in, has got a lot, like politics, you would say. And something that I still don't, that is not yet clear to anybody, including myself, is the organization of the industry and how that will come about and when it will come. and what that would mean to my business. So a bit of the regulation and policies still worries me, and it should worry me. But then the rest, I think the rest that should have worried me is taken care of. So I really think whatever can be easily done within my, whatever can be done, can be done. But I think things to do with like regulations are quite tricky, especially if you're not directly in line with the interest of the government. And now in this context, it's not only the government, you have like the KCCA, you have like the Uganda Police, you have like the Ministry of Security, you have like the Ministry of Transport, you have like the National Road Safety Council, you have like the Uganda Parliament. So there are so many key players in this, especially when you look at the bodyboard industry. So many people have got a say, and you really don't know exactly because you're not directly involved in many of these policy and changes that are going to come. And that is something that still keeps me awake. And I try as much as I can to understand it more, and maybe get involved, but it's not easy. I think that is something that would mean a lot to the future of my business, and it should worry me as a young person. But then the rest about the finances, about getting certain things done, getting the app working really well, I think that is going to happen. About getting the team within the organization, you have like a diverse team. You have people from the Western world, you have people from Africa, and they're like from Northern Africa, Western Africa, and all that. East Africa, getting all these cultures, getting all these people from the diverse background to work together is really like something that can be easily done. After all, they are within the setting of an organization. But when it crosses and it gets outside to the government, it's quite tricky. But I think at the moment I'm worried, but it keeps me awake. It doesn't mean really I'm really like that worried. It keeps me awake.
Do you think you've been lucky or that your company has succeeded where others have not, because you've had the help of co-founders from Belgium and the UK who sort of understand this economics and funding?
Yeah, I think I am that one lucky Ugandan, and you're not going to find so many of us, but you're going to find so many successful Ugandans as well. And you would clearly say that because of the team I had who understood, who knew very well how to play around with what and how to present Safeboda to the investors, who were able to make it, but it was really tough. Every time you would talk to investors, they would say, are you doing taxi or you're doing two wheels? And you would look for success stories across the world, you wouldn't find it. And that is what actually drives the decision that they make. But now, I think before actually Safeboda, there's another Indonesian company called Gojek. They have had a huge success story. I think last year, they were able to raise $1 billion investment, and they have now started investing into other companies who are doing like similar stuff. And now we have a point of reference because Gojek is really like one successful company that has really done it in Indonesia. It's in Jakarta, and now actually Uber Boda was actually even there, and they nailed it properly, and Uber Boda was not able to make it. I'm not saying Uber Boda failed, but they really nailed it properly, and they were able to attract so much investment. And yes, because of that, we also think we are going to lead the industry here, and we shall also make it. Having people who had like economic background and basically had the opportunity to go to like the best schools in the world, because one of my co-founders actually went to Oxford University, made it quite easy. But it was never easy. It was actually much harder even to attract fundings into the business. But you'd clearly say we were lucky. Yeah. And also for them, it wouldn't have been like them alone, because they needed the understanding of like the border industry, and and that is where I played a great role. I think for like 2 years, my work was basically dealing with the border drivers, and that is what I did, like to really like support the organization. I kept myself as the director of operations for a very long time, and we were able to build the foundation. And now a little bit, I had somebody to take over the operation department, but that's really like the role I played because I understood the industry and I knew what was needed for the industry, and I knew the key people to really like approach.
What's your role now?
Now the thing here is, as the company grows, as a co-founder, as a director, you really need to step aside a little bit, but still the role is a little bit diverse. You know, you move from talking to the government to fixing problems within the organizations to representing and presenting Safeboda to the media, like here, presenting Safeboda at different forums across the world. So it's still a mix. It's never clear what our roles can really like look like. Work together with my other team to really like make decisions that is of the best interest for the organization, but not really like directly. You wouldn't say any of us is like the head of marketing, any of us is like the director of operation, any of us is like the head of finance. It's no longer there. So all of us, we have really like stepped out and allowed people to really like run the organization, and that's the sign of a successful organization basically. And we believe that is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, but still I hustle with the borders, and so many issues that come in the border industry still directly faces me. They actually said like, you need to speak to Ricky, and I have to go back and speak to a border driver on the street, a Safeboda guy. Any misunderstanding, anything, still comes back to me. But I do not run like the day-to-day running of like the operation department, and none of us actually does that. I had smart people who heads all these other departments. But even after doing all that, we still do not like, we don't sit back and really like cross our legs. Still there's a lot on our plates as well, internally, you would say.
Okay, and what excites you? You know, earlier we spoke about what worries you. What, you know, when you go to bed and you're very happy, what are you excited about?
As a person, there's only one thing that gives me a smile in life. And if I see a problem fixed, I will always smile. And if I don't see any problem fixed, if I don't see a solution to a problem, I'll always be worried. But also seeing Safeboda where it is, and now we've moved from like Chebando, one small room, to like Kanyanya, like a residential house, and now to like Kololo, you know, Bukoto Street, and now we are there with, you know what Kololo means to everybody here, and now we have an office in Kololo. Seeing Safeboda grow from wherever it had been to where it is right now makes me so happy. And every time I reach office, actually I stand outside and I look at the office. I'm like, okay, this is our office, and I am a director of this company. So then I step out of my car or out of the Safeboda, then I walk in majestically. I'm like, yes, this is where we are. So really, like, when I reach the office, I really like say, okay, man, we need to keep moving, because maybe we need the entire Kashia Mall as our office. Yeah. So seeing Safeboda where it is keeps me smiling every day and night. But also having a problem solved is always what I want to see. Like when I know that something is not right, I really want to have it fixed, and when it's not fixed, I'll always be worried. Yeah. But besides that, life is good, quite happy, and I'm quite sure of tomorrow. So, yeah.
Nice. And what would you tell young people who, you know, starting enterprises, running enterprises?
I mean, it's always there's only one problem with the young people, and there's some people I find it, I don't really understand certain young people. But I would want to say to every young person there, please be polite and keep working hard and follow your passion. I know you'll definitely make it. I want to say thank you so much for hosting me, and thank you so much to City TV, to the Cash Incubator program, to the main sponsors, Yuga Bass. It's exciting.